Forget the stock market. Forget crypto. Forget everything you're watching on financial news. The number that truly matters in the world right now, the only number, is 115. That's the price physical silver is trading for in the real world today, January 28th, 2026. While the screen lies to you with a fake price of $109. That $6 gap isn't a premium. It's a crack in the foundation of the entire financial system. It's the first fallen domino. It's proof that the Black Swan is no longer a theory. It's a countdown. And in this video, I will show you the next 3 dominoes that are about to fall. The triggers that will unleash the most catastrophic financial event of our lifetimes. The Black Swan is coming, and it's visible now. This isn't another market prediction. This is a declassified briefing on the 3 tripwires that will trigger the main event. First, we'll identify the fragile giant, the massive institution that is secretly bankrupt and whose collapse will be the trigger. Second, I'll show you the silver catalyst, the specific event in the silver market that will push that giant over the edge. And third, we will unveil the Get Ready protocol, your personal 3-layer survival plan for when the Black Swan finally lands. Because this isn't about making profits anymore. This is about survival, about protecting everything you have before the system implodes. Let me show you what's coming. A Black Swan only emerges when the system is already fragile, already broken, already on the edge. And our system right now is like a cancer patient taking their final breaths. Let me show you the 3 terminal illnesses killing it. The debt cancer U.S. national debt is now $36.2 trillion as of January 2026. But here's what most people miss. We're now paying $1.75 trillion in annual interest on that debt. That's more than the entire defense budget. We're borrowing money to pay the interest on our previous borrowing. It's a death spiral, mathematically unsustainable. When interest costs exceed tax revenue growth, the system collapses. We're already there. The de-dollarization virus. The petrodollar is dead. Saudi Arabia didn't renew the 50-year agreement in June 2024. BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, plus 34 new members as of 2025, are now trading in local currencies. China and Russia settled $260 billion in bilateral trade using yuan and rubles in 2025, not a single dollar involved. When demand for dollars falls and supply increases through endless printing, you get currency collapse. We're watching it happen in slow motion. The trust collapse. But the most critical fracture is trust. Trust that banks are safe. Trust that your money is yours. Trust that the system is fair. Silver trading at $115 physical, while screens show $109 is proof that trust is dead. When people stop trusting the numbers on screens, when they demand physical reality instead of digital promises, the entire illusion shatters. And that's where we are right now. But this 6 system won't collapse on its own. It needs one final push, one pin to pop the everything bubble. And that pin is made of silver. So why is silver the trigger? Why not bonds or dollars or stocks? Because silver is where the lie meets reality, where paper meets physical, where the fraud is most visible. We've seen in previous videos how the paper silver lie was exposed, how for every 1 ounce of physical silver, there are 400 paper claims traded. But now, retail investors have been squeezed out of the game entirely. Now it's industry versus military. Apple needs silver for iPhones. Tesla needs it for EVs. Samsung needs it for next-gen batteries. And the Pentagon needs it for missiles, satellites, radar systems, and defense infrastructure. All 3 are now refusing paper contracts. They're demanding physical delivery immediately. The result? COMEX and LBMA vaults have been drained of 47 million ounces in the past 60 days. COMEX registered silver, down from 67 million ounces on January 1st to 43 million ounces today. That's a 36% drop in 4 weeks. London vaults, down from 138 million ounces to 109 million ounces. Another 21% collapse. Supply is so tight that they can't even fill small orders anymore. On January 25th, a semiconductor manufacturer in Taiwan tried to purchase 500,000 ounces for Q1 production. COMEX offered 120,000 ounces with a 12-week delivery timeline. They couldn't deliver 1/4 of the order, and the delivery time frame was 3 months. That's a supply failure. Silver is no longer just money. It's become a strategic bottleneck. The entire global economy has ground to a halt waiting for this one metal. So we know the system is fragile. We know silver is the catalyst. But what's the final spark? What's the specific event that will ignite this powder keg? I'm going to show you the 3 most likely Black Swan triggers in the next 4 minutes. Here are the 3 events, any one of which could trigger the collapse. Trigger number 1, a major bank default, the obvious one. As we revealed in the leaked LBMA risk assessment table, Credit Suisse's commodity trading desk is sitting on a 95 million ounce short position that becomes insolvent at $130 silver. We're at $115 today. That's $15 away. The current rate of increase, $3 to $5 per day, will hit $130 in less than a week. When Credit Suisse defaults, it triggers a cascade because they owe silver to other banks who owe silver to other institutions. It's the 2008 Lehman Brothers moment, but this time there's no bailout coming because governments are bankrupt themselves. Trigger number 2, a geopolitical resource grab, the unexpected one. Imagine this scenario. Tomorrow morning, President Trump invokes emergency powers under the Defense Production Act and orders the military occupation of Mexico's largest silver mine, the Peñasquito mine in Zacatecas, which produces 18 million ounces annually. He declares it a temporary security measure to ensure critical mineral supply for national defense. Mexico responds by nationalizing all American-owned mining assets in retaliation. The silver market freezes instantly. Prices go no bid. Trading halts. Governments around the world start seizing private stockpiles. Or consider this. China invades Taiwan. Not for political reasons. For semiconductor manufacturing facilities and the 3,500 tons of silver stockpiled there for chip production. A geopolitical resource grab triggers instant market collapse. No gradual decline, just sudden death. Trigger number 3, a COMEX delivery failure, the most likely one. This is the simplest and most probable trigger. Next week, or next month, COMEX receives delivery demands for 80 million ounces, but they only have 43 million ounces in registered vaults. They cannot deliver. So they issue an official notice. Due to unprecedented market conditions and inventory constraints, physical delivery obligations will be settled in cash equivalents. Translation: we don't have your silver, here's money, deal with it. The moment that notice is published, the world realizes the emperor has no clothes. Trust evaporates completely. The paper market collapses to zero. Physical silver becomes unobtainable at any price. The financial system freezes. Stock markets crash. Bond markets seize. Banks close. ATMs go dark. That's the Black Swan. And when it lands, silver's price will become historic. Let me tell you what that actually means. So when one of these Black Swan triggers fires, silver's price will go historic. What does that mean? It doesn't mean $200 or $500. Those are still paper prices, still numbers on a screen. Historic price means no price at all. It means a world where you cannot buy silver at any dollar amount because dealers are sold out, because governments have seized all supply for strategic reserves, because dollars themselves are worthless. Let me paint the picture. Phase 1, the squeeze, weeks 1, 2. Silver spikes to $150, then $180, then $220. Dealers run out of inventory. Online retailers show out of stock on everything. Premiums explode to $80 to $100 over spot. You can still find silver, but you're paying 2x to 3x the official price. Phase 2, the freeze, weeks 3, 4. Governments invoke emergency powers. The US declares silver a critical infrastructure asset and bans private sales over 10 ounces without government approval. Japan, South Korea, and the EU implement 50% transaction taxes to discourage private trading. You can't buy silver legally anymore. The only market is underground barter. Phase 3, the barter economy, months 2 to 6. The dollar has collapsed. Hyperinflation is raging. A loaf of bread costs $50. People start trading directly. 1 ounce of silver for 3 months of groceries, or 1 acre of farmland, or a used car. Silver doesn't have a dollar price anymore because dollars are meaningless. That's historic price. It's not a number. It's the absence of numbers, the return to barter and tangible value. And if you're not prepared, if you don't have physical silver in your possession right now, you'll be locked out completely. So how do you get ready? How do you survive when the Black Swan lands? Your survival plan has 3 layers, and layer number 1 is what 99% of people forget. Here's your 3-layer survival wallet, the only strategy that works when everything collapses. Layer 1, liquidity, cash and skills. In the first few weeks of the crash, only cash will work. Digital payments will be down, banks will be closed, credit cards will be declined. You need physical cash to survive the initial chaos. Aim for 1 to 2 months of expenses in small bills, 20s and 50s, hidden securely. But more important than cash are skills. Can you fix things? Can you grow food? Can you build, repair, or create something useful? In a barter economy, skills are currency. A plumber is worth more than a stockbroker. A carpenter is worth more than a lawyer. Start learning practical skills now. Gardening, basic carpentry, first aid, electrical work, anything that produces tangible value. Layer 2, wealth preservation, gold and silver. This is your medium-term survival fund. Physical gold and silver will protect your wealth from hyperinflation. When the dust settles, when markets reopen, when assets are being liquidated at fire sale prices, you'll be able to buy real estate at 10 cents on the dollar, buy businesses that survived, buy productive assets that generate cash flow. but only if you hold physical metal. Paper claims will be worthless. Aim for 10% to 30% of your net worth in physical gold and silver. More if you can afford it. Store it privately, not in a bank, not in an ETF, in your possession. Layer 3, long-term survival, land and community. The ultimate wealth is land, especially land that can produce food. A small farm, a rural property with a well and arable soil, anything that lets you grow vegetables, raise chickens, or be self-sufficient. When the monetary system collapses, food becomes the ultimate currency. He who controls food controls survival. But even more important than land is community. You cannot survive alone. You need neighbors you trust, friends you can rely on, a network of people with complementary skills. Start building that network now. Join local groups, attend community events, identify who in your area has skills you lack. When the crisis hits, isolated individuals die. Communities survive. These 3 layers, liquidity, wealth preservation, and long-term survival, are your get-ready protocol. Implement them now, before the Black Swan lands. In the end, the Black Swan is no longer a distant threat. It's a shadow hanging directly over us. The system won't break because an enemy attacked it. It will break because its foundation was built on lies and fraud. And truth always emerges. Paper markets pretending to be real. Central banks pretending they're solvent. Governments pretending they can pay their debts. All lies. And silver is where the lie becomes most visible, where the fraud is impossible to hide. So here's my question for you. Which of these 3 triggers do you think will come first? Warburger 1, bank default. To me, Armor 2, geopolitical resource grab. Warburger 3, COMEX delivery failure. Drop your vote in the comments, 1, 2, or 3. Let's see what this community thinks. And tell me, are you ready? Have you built your 3-layer survival wallet? Or are you still hoping this all blows over? Because hope is not a strategy. Preparation is. Get ready. The countdown has begun. Subscribe to this channel if you want to know the 3 Phoenix assets that will rise from the ashes and potentially deliver 100x returns after the crash. The Black Swan is coming. The only question is, will you be ready when it lands?